Hey people, it's the Broken Puppet, and this is how to draw an old school spider. Enjoy. Right people, how to draw an old school spider. Now this is old school, old sailor type, so it's not extremely high to detail, but that's the point, it's stylized. Just using basic pencil, Sharpie, basic pen, and I'll probably use a couple of my Winsor & Newton brush markers. They're like the new version of the flex markers. But you can just use paints, pencils, pens, colouring pencils, anything you guys want. You know, you don't feel like you have to use one specific thing. Right, the paper, it's just basic craft paper. This one's CY Brighton, but they're all the same. Just go on Amazon, you know, just look up craft paper. Easy. Right, here we go. Start off, do yourself a circle. Just keep running your pencil round in a circle until you get a good looking circle. Simple. Second one underneath, much smaller low, and just overlapping a little bit. You know, because you want this head to be, this is going to be like the head, it's going to be like closed inside it. Just up the side, flick, just a little curved bit, it's going to be like, you know, like the toothy thing on that side. Now it's literally just like, you know, banana shape, just curve it in, curve it out. The legs break down to 3 sections each one. The first 2 you want to come off very close and coming down, the other 2 going up. So start with, just do a line like this. It's the first bend of the leg. It's the second bend. It's the third bend. It's the first bend. The second bend. Now for this one, I like to go outwards. Now that's just me, just personal preference. I don't know why, I just like to do that. You can just bring this down if you want. That's just the way I generally do it. Next one, bring out. I like to make these ones a little bit longer because they're the back legs. Bring up, bring in, and I like to curve mine in. So you bring this one in and curve it upwards. So make like an S shape. Curve up, curve around. Just do the identical thing on the same on the other side. If you're worried about getting it dead symmetric, what you can do is put a bit of tracing paper over the top. Just like trace the half, flip it over, go over the top. You know, or you can just bring lines across like this to measure up where your lines meet up. So this bend ends there, that bend is there. This one starts there. See, lines are always a very good way of measuring. So you know that line goes to that line goes to that line, and this one curves up. Curve up. Curve up. Okay, now on the wrong way. That's your basic structure for like the basic body. Now what I like to do, you can have, some people do like, you know, claws at the back, some people do this. I like to just bring in a curve shape up the center and come down, so you're making almost like a spike at the bum. It's like a bumblebee, but I don't know, it just seems to work for spiders for me. Now the body shape, there's always some sort of pattern work in here. You don't just leave this black, you know, unless you're doing like a silhouette one, but you're on old school, you need a pattern work. Most people break it down into some sort of V shape. So I'm going to do like a V to a second line there. So you're breaking that space up. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm just going to do 2 circles, full circles inside. You can do loads more patterns. You can have like line work and stuff, or you can make this more curved and bent and, you know, bits like that. The face here, what I usually do a circle in the middle, at the bottom, one to the side, one to the side, one above, one in the corner, one above. I like to make it so there's loads of eyes in that bit, but personal preference, that's just me. Now old school, always thick line work. You know, it's never thin. So I'm going to start off with doing a big circle. Don't worry if it's not perfect. This isn't going to be perfect. Well, I don't think it is, but we'll see. It's good if you can pull your line and work on one, but don't feel like you have to. If you need to, just kind of flick the line out each time. There's always certain angles where you kind of easier to just flick the line in. Cool. So you got that bit. I'm just going to do this head shape. Bring it here, then I'm going to do a little indent curve. Bring that around there. Just going to bring a little curve just on the outside. Just on the outside, like so. So, very circle shape, just a little curve bit there and there. Now the leg, we've done the lines, we're going to bold this up. Each one is going to be like a cylinder kind of shape. So you basically want to make a big oval kind of around each one. So we're going to go there to there. And each one from here sits over the top. Like so. Like so. Like so. Like so. Just do this for all the legs. Like I said, at this point you can have this one curving down if you want. I like to have my one curve out. Now the back leg I like to come to a point at the end. You know, like on the front bits here. You know, these ones not so much, but these back ones I like to come to a point so they're nice and sharp. Makes them look a bit more intimidating. This basic structure for the legs. I'm going to make the legs more hairy though, but I'll show you how to do that in a sec. Bring up this back spike we done. And add in those teeth. Now to make the legs hairy, you can do hairs both sides. I tend to prefer just doing it on one side. You know, I think it just gives a pretty cool effect. So literally we're just going to do little tiny lines just coming the whole way around the outside. And sort of fading out as you get towards the end of the legs. Try to keep them, you know, the same distance apart. You know, but don't worry if they are a little bit uneven. But just try to aim to get them as even as you can. And then here. So there you go, you've got hairy legs now. Now it's going to bring in that V. I highly recommend not using a ruler for this. If your line work doesn't come out dead straight, to be honest, that kind of adds to it, you know, because the old school sailor ones were never dead straight, because they was done on skim, a lot of time without stencils. So I'm going to do dot, 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 and then in this bit here, I'm just going to do lines going across like that. Now we've done his eyes, just going to do his eyes in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can do more if you want. I'm going to leave that one as that number. And now once you've done that, you've got to decide on how you're going to colour this in. Now for the legs, I would recommend just basic shade out, which I'm going to do. But here on the bottom bit, you want a lot of black, but you've got to decide where you want the black. Now personally, I'm thinking some on the side here, but I'm going to probably shape out these circular bits. So I'm going to go like this, like so, like so. Now literally you can create any kind of pattern you want on these, and then it'll look cool. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to colour in solid black. There. I'm going to colour this in black. For this I'm just going to use Pro Marker. As you've probably heard me say before, Pro Markers are good for bold colouring, but to be honest, nothing really else. You know, they're not ideal for like colouring or blending. Well, they're ideal for colouring, just not blending. Just going to colour in the space between the eyes. With spiders, it always tends to be a lot of black. Cool. So that's that bit, so I'm just going to grab my brush markers. And right. These literally just work the same as our pencils you're blending out, which just gives an easier, quicker, smoother tone. Winsor & Newton brush markers. If the lid come off. There we go. So you've got this cool brush tip. Now for here, I'm actually going to just look up from the bottom. Now these ones kind of come in like varying shades, so I'm going to go from that to a slightly lighter shade. Just flick out over the top of that. And go to my lighter shade. Flick out from that. Now when I flick out the last bit, I'm going to flick into it, so you kind of got that white outline. See the white edge just around the edge bit? That's what I'm looking for. And I'm just going to keep doing this all the way around the legs. Look. Like I said, you can do the exact same thing with pencils and paints. You know, you literally just blend out until it goes transparent. Like so. I'll keep putting down this back on. There we go. Nope. Did stay off. Sorry, I just forced a habit there. It's a good habit to keep putting your lids back on, but for convenience, it's just easier for me to have them off. There we go. Wrong one. The problem with markers is very much like water paints, you know, you've got to slowly blend out your colours. Otherwise you clearly see a rough transition. Now you can take your time with this. I'm literally just rushing these. You can keep kind of blending them in. On this kind of paper, they're kind of hard brown, so you can put a lot in. A lot of like layers, and it doesn't really damage it too much. If you're using standard paper or markers, they will just kind of bleed the hell out of it. So try to get yourself some decent paper. Or like this, you know, it's not expensive, it's pretty decent. Do that. Red, green, and yellow. Possibly orange. I don't think yellow's going to show on this paper or not. I don't think it will. Right, so yeah, I'm just going to start off with, yeah, I'm going to colour, I'm going to colour the VM red. VM red. Little side bit, just there. Come in my green. You can use a luminous green if you want. I mean, this isn't luminous green, but on this paper it just turns like a nice grassy green, which is more of a traditional kind of old school colour than your luminous. I know, the thing about grass green colour is pretty cool. That and some orange. And then I think grass green for just look at the blood spatter on his thing. Now I'm just going to do a red hoop. I'm not going to colour these in red, so I want a little white highlight. I mean, with the legs you can colour them in if you want. I prefer to leave them sort of standard. But yeah, that is how to draw an old school spider. If you want to blend it out, you can do. So I'll just quickly show you how to modify a little bit. Like if you want to make it a little bit of sense of 3D-ness, you can kind of blend here. Get yourself a nice shadow. So if you want something like that, you can do. You get a cool like shadow effects. You know, you can do stuff like that if you want to. You know, but don't feel it's necessary. You know, like I said, like the old school is always usually quite simple. You know, how crazy you go with it after you got the basic simple is up to you. But yeah, I hope that helps. Check out my other videos. Going to be doing daily videos. This is day 1, so check out my other ones and a Broken Puppet, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.